There are certain places here in New England where even the trees are afraid to grow. I'm your host, and this is the darkest part of the woods. Join me as we explore the most haunted places in New England. Follow if you dare. It was the autumn of 1764 when three travelers set out across the fens, a sprawling wasteland of black mud and reeking water that stretched for miles. The marsh was treacherous, full of bog holes and sudden drops, a place that swallowed men whole without leaving a trace. Yet it was the only shortcut to the nearby village. Thomas, the eldest of the group, led the way, his boots heavy with muck. Beside him trudged Edward, a timid young man who kept glancing nervously at the shifting shadows. Behind them followed Martha, her cloak drawn tightly against the damp chill. By day, the marsh was bleak. By night, it became something else entirely. The reeds whispered like voices, shapes moved just beyond sight, and the mist, thick, rolling, unnatural, seemed to rise from nowhere and choke the air. The travelers had planned to reach the far road before dusk, but when the sun dipped behind the horizon and the swamp turned black, they realized they were lost. "Keep moving," Thomas muttered. "The village lights can't be far." That was when they saw it, a glow, faint, golden and flickering, hovering ahead in the mist. It swayed like the flame of a lantern, bobbing slowly through the fog. "Someone's out there," Edward whispered with relief. A guide, perhaps a ferryman. But Martha's face paled. She gripped Edward's sleeve. "No, it's a trick. My grandmother used to tell tales of lights in the fen. Willow, the wisps, she called them. They lead travelers to their deaths." Thomas laughed harshly, though there was no humor in it. "Superstitions. We follow and we'll find the path." So, against Martha's warning, they walked toward the light. The lantern swayed just beyond their reach, glowing softly, leading them deeper into the marsh. Every time they drew near, it drifted a little farther. "Wait," Thomas called. "We need help." The lantern never stopped. The fog thickened, curling like smoke around their legs. The ground grew softer, sucking at their boots. Behind them, the way back had vanished, and still, the light beckoned. Hours seemed to pass. The marsh stretched endlessly, each step heavier than the last. Their breaths grew ragged, their nerves fraying. The lantern was the only thing they could see, the only anchor in the smothering dark. Then the mist parted, and they saw him. The lantern was not floating after all. It was held aloft by a figure, tall, gaunt, draped in tattered robes black with mud. The light illuminated nothing above its shoulders. Where its face should have been, there was only emptiness, a hollow void, blacker than the night around it. The figure turned its head, as though regarding them. Edward froze, choking on his breath. "It has no face," he whispered. The figure raised the lantern higher, and the marsh quivered. Beneath their feet, the ground pulsed like a living thing. Ripples spread across the waterlogged earth, and from somewhere deep below, a low moan rose, the sound of countless voices crying at once. "Don't follow," Martha hissed. She grabbed Edward's hand, tugging him back. "Don't you see? It's not showing us the way out. It's keeping us lost." But the figure began to walk, slowly, deliberately. The lantern's light flickered brighter, painting their faces gold. And with every step it took, the marsh seemed to shift beneath them, forcing them forward. They tried to resist, but the ground slid like quicksand, carrying them after the figure whether they willed it or not. Thomas cursed and lunged, swinging his arm as if to snatch the lantern, but his hand passed straight through the air. The faceless man did not falter. Hours bled into an eternity. The marsh no longer obeyed reason. Trees twisted into shapes like corpses reaching skyward. Pools of water reflected not the lantern's light, but endless voids. The smell of rot choked them. Something cold brushed past Martha's leg. She screamed and stumbled back, her boots sinking deep into the mud. She pulled, but the marsh held her fast. The whispers grew louder, closer, and beneath the ground they felt movement. Countless hands, writhing just beneath the surface, pressing upward. Thomas reached for Martha, but the earth split beneath her and pale fingers erupted from the muck. They clawed at her cloak, her arms, her face. Her scream was cut short as she was dragged under. Edward collapsed to his knees. "Please, no more." His voice cracked. "Where are we?" The figure stopped. The lantern dimmed, and then it went out. The marsh was consumed by blackness so complete, so suffocating, that the travelers couldn't see their own hands. The silence was unbearable. Not even the reeds stirred. Then came the whispers, soft at first, hissing from every direction. Thomas's name, then Martha's, then Edward's, spoken in their own voices but twisted as though dragged up from watery throats. The lantern flickered back to life, glowing faintly in the mist, swaying patiently. The faceless figure was waiting. They say travelers still vanish in the fens. They say, if you see a lantern swaying in the mist, you must never follow. But the truth is worse. You don't follow it. It makes you. And once you see the lantern man, you never leave the marsh. Have you ever seen a strange light in the distance, beckoning you closer? What did you do? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like stories like this, check out more content. Thanks for watching. I'm your host. Be sure to follow for more stories. And remember, stay safe out there. There are some things that are better left undiscovered.